What is up, savages? Let's get this coin. What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019. Welcome to the RandomCoin Mining Show, where we mine a random coin each weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a list of, the way it works is I have a list of 100 plus GPU mineable coins that we use a randomizer to go through and pick one, and then whatever we land on, we try to mine it within 30 minutes. We'll use various mining software like Simple Mining OS, Hive OS, or Windows 10 sometimes. Most of the time it's just Simple Mining or Hive OS. Since it's random, since it's random, we always typically we run into problems, and when we do, what we try to do is we try to work together to, you know, figure out what the problem is and work through it. That did not work very well last night. I got to talk to you guys about that. You guys let me do something silly last night, and you didn't. Nobody said anything and helped me out. So I'll show you what we did, or what I did, what I overlooked. But since it's like I was saying, since it's random, what I do is I pre-record the randomization part, because with such a large number, over 100 on my list here, there's a real good chance that we would end up on something that we wouldn't be able to mine for whatever reason. And I can give you a really good example. Right now, today I was preparing for this show, and the first one I landed on randomly was Monero. Well, or Monero original, sorry. Well, come to find out, I guess that coin has been abandoned, or I don't know what's going on with it, but I couldn't, there was some component that I needed that I couldn't figure out. Maybe it was a pool. I think that's what it was. There was no pool available. So there was not one person mining Monero original. So I think it's an abandoned project. So anyway, that's just giving you a real quick example of what's going on. So we try to do this within 30 minutes because at 10 o'clock we switch over to the BrandonCoin live stream, daily mining live stream. Sometimes we run over a little bit, like last night we ran into some problems. I'm going to stop talking. Basically, we pre-record the randomization part, and I'm going to play that video right now just to show you what we landed on. If you haven't figured it out already, it was part of the thumbnail for YouTube, and I tweeted about it as well. So if you recognize that logo and the colors, you probably already know what we landed on. It's kind of exciting because it's something different. We normally land on kryptonite algorithms, it seems like lately, or a Lyra 2Z or something like that. So it's kind of cool that we landed on something a little different. So I will play that video now, and I will watch it with you. But basically, here's the list. I modify the list from time to time. If I run across something that needs to be added, I will add something to it. So oh, you know what? I gotta modify this. Hang on a second. I didn't do the latest one. That was from last night. Let me fix this real quick. All right, here we go. This should be the right one. Sorry about that. So I think, was it up to one right there? See, you can see how I originally selected Monero original, or it was randomly selected. So that one didn't work, so we landed on Reden, which Reden has got its own controversies and stuff like that. It was a project that basically, from what I can gather, it scam exited, but the developers were able to recover the code, and basically, I don't know if they just copied it or forked off of it, or how it worked, but basically they were able to take it over, and the original developer jetted off with a lot of the, I think it was like over $100,000 worth of deposits that were supposed to be used for exchange fees and things like that. So it was kind of a mess at first, but I think that they got it straightened out. I do not know the actual status of it now, because it seemed like they were not very active on BitCoinTalk, and it seemed like there was, you know, a lack of interest to say the least. So right there, I'm kind of highlighting the situation with the developer, the original developer, you know, that jetted, exit scan, whatever you want to call it. Took over $100,000 worth of deposits. I don't know, probably maybe that was ETH to pay for. I don't know how that worked. So it sounds like it was kind of an ICO or something. But they actually are not on CoinMarketCap. They're not on WHATTOMINE, and that is their BitCoinTalk. I'm just collecting all the information like we always do. It came out sometime last year, I believe, right? April of 2018. So just collecting the pertinent information that you need to mine a coin. I did not want to download their wallet, but I had to because it was basically the only way I could get a valid address. Could probably just make something up in the future, but I don't think that the mining would actually work. So I like to have an actual address. So I did have to grab their wallet and all that stuff. I did run it through VirusTotal. Right here, I'm just kind of poking around to try to figure out. I think I was looking for an address to mine to or something. But I ended up going to their downloads and grabbing their wallet. I just grabbed their Windows wallet, extracted it. Actually, before I do that, I always run it through VirusTotal. It was surprisingly kind of clean. It only had one hit, which is a real common one for the miner portion of it. I guess it sees it as a threat, you know. And again, all that VirusTotal is showing you is that the developers probably haven't worked with those companies to get their files cleared, right? So that it shows as clean. Although there were a lot of clean, not hits, but they, you know, it showed as pretty clean, so that's really good. I was kind of surprised. So I just grabbed receiving address here. I didn't let the wallet through the firewall or anything like that because you don't have to do that. So I just, a little added security there. If you were actually mining this coin, you would have to do that in order to get the wallet to function properly, right? But in our case, we're just doing this as an exercise to mine something random. So I am just grabbing whatever. And in this case, I'm going to use the technicals pool. If you're not familiar with him, he's got his own YouTube channel, super cool guy. The Technicals, I believe, is his YouTube. You should probably check him out as well. But one of the things that he has here, a lot of these pools have this, but it's a little utility for basically setting up your miner options. So that's what I'm kind of going through here. Just using the tools that are provided for us, right, to make things a little bit easier. Although I end up changing this because it's not necessarily based on only the pool, it's also based on the miner that you use. So the miner might change if you're using, in this case it was T-Rex, so I think we might use T-Rex for the NVIDIA rig. But I don't know what our miner options will actually look like once we get them squared away with how they need to be for the miner that we're going to use, because the miner kind of drives that. It's not necessarily the pool, although that's a useful utility for setting things up. Initially, it does help. For AMD rigs on this particular algorithm, this is an x16s. I kind of didn't say that earlier on. x16s is originally was for, I think the original coin that used it was Pigeon Coin, and that came out right after RavenCoin, and RavenCoin uses 16 different algorithms. It's x16R, it's random, and the problem with RavenCoin, or the algorithm, is that the fluctuation of the hash rate and things like that, and x16s is supposed to smooth that out and make it a more of a steady hash rate over time. So that's the difference between the two algorithms. Thanks, Yashnik. I knew I had to make it up to you, man. I had to get the Aeon shirt going today. Basically, the algorithm that we're using, x16s, is 16 different algorithms, like I was saying, trying to get caught back up in my thought process here. I think we're ready to go. I think I was going to talk about different miners or something, but anyway, let me switch over to here so that I can fire up the I was showing everybody here that we landed on Monero Original earlier today whenever I was preparing for this, and it's apparently a dead project. So here is the documentation that we currently have for the current random coin that was selected randomly, right? So this is the information that we have so far. We will go ahead and use the NVIDIA rig because it is better for x16 algorithms. So we'll start there. If we have time, maybe we can switch over to an AMD rig. So for the NVIDIA rig, we'll use T-Rex, and we'll have to use HiveOS for this because that's what's already booted up. I need to remember to do that and just boot up into Simple Mining from time to time. But right now it is on HiveOS, and I always like to show you guys what I'm mining. I'm not shilling anything. This is just what I'm mining at the moment. Okay, so don't say that I told you what to mine or anything like that. So on the two AMD rigs, the two 8 GPU RX 580 rigs, I'm mining Grin, and you guessed it, on the other two, I'm throwing everything at Grin this week, and I'm just getting it over with. I'm getting a lot of rejected shares on the pool though. I'm using Spark Pool here, and the latest B miner, I'm using the latest B miner, and it's got a huge amount of GPS, but definitely the highest. But with this accepted shares ratio, I'm a little bit concerned, so I gotta look at that later. And then this is the AMD rig. That's why it's actually 12 GPUs, but the GPS is way down there because it's only getting like 1.5 each, and the RX 580s, 570s. All right, so that's basically what I'm mining, which has nothing to do with what we're going to do tonight. I'm just showing you. So we need to first, so our goal here is to mine Reden, R-E-D-E-N, ticker REDN, and it's an x16s algorithm. So that's what we are looking to do. And we're going to use the NVIDIA rig, and the hardware for that looks like this. So this is the rig that we're going to be using. Just to throw it up here so that y'all can see what we're working with here. What's up, ICU2? Everybody in chat, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys showing up. All right, so let's go ahead and remember in HiveOS. I'm kind of new to HiveOS still. I've been using it a little while here, a few weeks, but I learned something new about it pretty much every day. So we'll start with flight sheets. We're going to create a new flight sheet for the new coin that we're going to be mining. So this is Reden. I don't know if it's going to be in here or not. If my keyboard works, move my phone. Too much interference. My computer is like way over there, so I typically don't have a problem with it, interference and stuff. So okay, so we got the coin is REDN, and then wallet, we're going to add a wallet, and we're going to choose, we have to go and grab our address. I should have grabbed that initially, but that's okay. So we're going to grab the address that we acquired from our desktop QT wallet. We're going to paste that in here. All right, and then I'll catch up with chat here in a moment. I got to kind of focus though, because I can get wrapped up in the chat. I can talk to you guys forever about crypto. So, all right, so address, and then we're going to give it a name. We'll just call it REDN YouTube, just so I know that I can delete it later, because I'm probably not going to mine this coin, in the future. So this is just for this exercise, and that's it. So let's see if they have a pool for Reden. I would suspect that they don't, but you never know. Oh wow, awesome. Okay, so they have 3 in here already that are basically pre-configured to some degree, but it's not one that we're going to use, right? Because we are going to use the technicals pool, right? So we're going to choose configure in miner. Now the miner, this is an NVIDIA rig, and if you look at the list of what miners you should use for x16s on NVIDIA, most things are going to point you to T-Rex. T-Rex seems to be the most popular, probably the highest hash rate. I don't use it a lot because I don't mine a lot of x16s nowadays. You know, months ago I was mining a lot of Reden with, and I was using T-Rex. I think I switched between T-Rex and I can't remember the other one. But I know it's a common miner, so that's probably the one that we're going to choose. So scroll down through here and choose T-Rex miner. It tells you right here that's NVIDIA, so that's good. Then we have to, because we have configure and miner over here for the pool, we have to click setup miner config, and we have to choose all this stuff inside of here, not all of it, but some of the information in here we have to fill out in order for it to work. So the algorithm, we're going to choose x16s. Wallet and worker template, we're going to try to use the variables, although, you know, this might not work. This is something that you kind of have to keep an eye on. These variables can sometimes trip you up. So all I did was I put my mouse over the I and clicked on this right here, and that put that pretty standard variable, you know, wallet dot worker name in there. So we'll see what happens with that. See if it works. And then we're going to go over here and grab the pool URL. I think I want to say that we probably should put stratum and stuff on there as well. Let's do it like this. And actually, come to think of it, that might be a problem. Another problem I'm having is I'm not doing that. Whoops. Why is it doing that? Don't do that. There we go. All right, and then for password, let's try. See, we're using. I don't know what happened here. Okay, we're using T-Rex, so we'll use their naming convention here, or their syntax. So we'll go C equals REDN, and then extra config. This is intensity and things like that. They do have it listed here as intensity 20, so let's put it on there. Oh, I forgot to show y'all what we were doing wrong last night too. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, and then the version we will go with 9.2 because I have 10 series GTX cards in this rig. I think we're good. I think this looks pretty good. The only thing I'm worried about is this right here, but if we look at, yeah, it doesn't show it here. We'll see what happens. It might work. You never know. Alright, so we're going to apply changes, and then we're going to give it a name of REDN YouTube. That's the flight sheet name, and then we're going to create flight sheet. Then we're going to go back to, now remember, we didn't even go to wallets because we did it from within the flight sheet. So if you go to wallets, you'll see your Reden wallet that we added in there, but we did it under flight sheet. So we didn't have to step through and go wallet first. You can, but you don't have to, because you can actually create it from the flight sheet. So then we go to workers. We're going to choose the NVIDIA rig here, Kessel, named after Star Wars, planets, right? It's my whole theme. And then we're going to go to the rocket, which is your flight sheets. It's how you assign a flight sheet to a rig. And then we're going to, I always like to just filter out everything by clicking on the one that I'm concerned with at the moment. And then we're going to click on the flight sheet. And it's using T-Rex, and you can see the little green N for NVIDIA. And then we're going to click apply. In this rig, I can actually get into it with VNC. It's rebooting it. You can kind of hear it. It died down there real quick. What it is. Nice. I thought you were going to ask a question, but I see what you're saying now. What it is. It's like Yashnik saying sup. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so that was kind of fast. All right. I am thinking. Let's see, do I have? All right, got an invalid share there. These OKs, I believe, are good. That means that it's an accepted share. So we are successfully mining Reden on the technicals pool, and I've got an overclock template for this, and it looks like it's, I'm not real great with x16s, but I think that what I'm looking at here is actually pretty decent hash rates. I don't know, someone that mines this x16s stuff could probably tell me, but I'm thinking that this is actually not that bad. Probably some tuning on the overclock settings and things like that could fix it up a little bit better, but we are successfully mining it. We got one rejected share so far, so I'm going to call this good, and then that means that I can put this rig back on Grin, and we can move on to we can use another rig and mine Reden using a different miner, so, and a different operating system. So let's do that. We got time. It's only 9:51. I see Brandon's in here, so that's good. He'll keep me on track and tell me to, you know, end my live stream so that we can switch over to his. So let's get out of here. I'm gonna put this rig back on Grin, which let's see, I think it was on B miner. Oh, you know what? I didn't even show you that. We didn't even refresh to see. So if I refresh, it should go to Reden. Yeah, right here. Looks like I got one GPU that's a little hot, but what I've found is whenever you first initially assign a flight sheet to a rig, it seems like this always happens until you reboot. After you reboot, it seems to clear it up. At least that, in my experience, that's what happens. I don't know why that happens if you assign it to a new coin algorithm while it's up and running and you don't reboot it. I don't know. I see it a lot though. It might just be a common quirk that happens with HiveOS. I don't know. It could be my settings. I don't know. But let's go ahead and put this rig back on Grin, and I think I'm going to choose, it was on B miner, I'm going to choose G miner, because I want to say I got better shares with that one, as far as, I don't remember. Man, it's been such a crazy couple weeks here. We'll come back to that. All right. I did want to show you guys what we did. I don't want to get off track though. All right, so let's go to simple mining, and we are going to go to, these are both AMD rigs, so that's all we can use in this case. And if you go to the data that we collected, it looks like you can use wild rig for x16s and AMD GPUs. This is going to be a pretty cool little test because these are 580s, and then we saw what we were getting on the 10 series GTX NVIDIA cards. So this is going to be kind of cool. I'm sure it's been done before, but it's still kind of cool. So let's go to group config. I'm going to add a group and choose wild rig multi. And you can see right here that it's x16s, or it supports x16s, and it's for RX right here. See, so that's cool. So we will choose that, and then we're going to give it a name of REDN. YouTube. I usually put more stuff in there, but we're kind of short on time, so I'm just going to put this in there so that I know to delete it afterwards. All right. Now for the miner options, it looks like we need to change the algo. And see, this is what I was talking about. This is a little different than what you would find on the technicals pool, where it was just basically setting up your miner options. You have to look at what your actual miner requires in order to get the configuration correct. So I'm thinking, I haven't done this before, but I'm thinking that this is going to be x16s right there for the algo. That would make sense, right? For the pool and the port, we'll go and grab the technicals pool info again. I probably don't have it copied, or I copied something else. So throw that in here. paste that. All right. Now this is where this new way that they're doing this with this field here, where it's expandable, it can kind of trip you up too, because you got to watch where the spaces are in here. Like, see how it threw a couple of spaces in there at the end? So you got to keep that in mind. I don't know if it'll mess. I haven't done testing to find out if it'll actually mess it up if there's too many spaces in there. I can only assume it will, though, because these things are pretty finicky. So let's go and grab our address again. Copy that. Go to paste it in the user block there. Check out our space. Looks like we got one too many in there. Password X, we can put, actually this one I think, did it have, yeah, it just has X for the password, so that's okay. What is, this looks weird right here. Did I do something? G7, I'm just verifying what I'm looking at here. This is not right. I don't know why those characters were in there. Alright, so that looks good so far. I don't think this one has the intensity setting or anything like that. Nope. Alright, so we will give this a shot. Let me zoom up on that real quick. Kind of double check it, look it over real quick. I think we're good. Alright, then we're going to click Add Group. Make sure it added. I've been lately, there's been a few times that I've added a group and it took the default instead of what I put in the block. I don't know if it's something going on with simple mining, but keep that in mind. I've experienced it a few times where I've clicked Add recently with the new update, where I've clicked Add and it actually put the default stuff here and not what I just modified. So this time it seemed to work just fine, so that's good. So let's go back to rig list, and we're going to choose one of the rigs. Doesn't even matter which one. They're both pretty much the same other than the GPUs. So we'll choose group config. Is that right? Group config? Why is it not clicking? There we go. And then go to Reden, which was the group that we just created, and then we'll do a reload. Now this rig is out in the garage, so we're not going to be able to like watch it, but I will bring up the console so we can kind of keep an eye on it. And fingers crossed, hopefully it will just work the first time. That way I can quickly show you guys what we did last night that messed, or what I did last night that messed everything up. And you guys let me do it, and y'all just didn't say anything, and you know, I don't know why y'all would do that, but I guess y'all were just laughing at me or something. But it was funny. Stupid little syntax error that caused all the problems. So let's see. Hopefully this thing is rebooting. It says over here that it's reloading the miner, so that's good. Yeah, Sonia Near, I don't have, if I run into something totally that I don't need, maybe hit me up in Discord or something. There might be a couple of things I could probably send you. But it won't be a GPU or anything like that. Yeah, I agree, Yashnik. I think a reboot always helps, and it seems like it always overheats the GPUs that first time. If you don't reboot and you just assign a flight sheet to it and let it rock, it'll just hit, I don't know, it just fluctuates the temperature so much, and it doesn't control the fans properly, I don't think, until you get a good reboot in there, and then it clears it up. At least that's my experience. That's what I've seen. Crafty2, we are mining Reden, x16s, real controversial coin where the original dev exit scammed and took a bunch of, I assume, ETH that was going to be used to get it listed on exchanges and things like that. But some other devs took it over quickly, and here we are. So Yeah, not a super awesome project or anything, but you know, it is on CoinMarketCap, which is kind of cool, I guess. It's not on WHATTOMINE or anything like that. While that's booting up, I can go over here and let's see what. Oh, I said it was on CoinMarketCap and it's not. Okay, so it's not on CoinMarketCap. So it's probably on CoinGecko. Maybe that's where I saw it. Nope, it's not even over there. Okay, so it's not on anything, pretty much. That's kind of weird. I thought I had a value in there for. No, sure didn't. And I was thinking about the previous one, maybe. That Monero original actually had a value on CoinMarketCap. It's kind of weird. Alright, so let's see what's going on over here. We got accepted shares. We are good. We are good. So we're already mining it on AMD. So we mined it on AMD. Oh, wait a minute. It's rebooting. But that's weird. Why did it just do that? Because it's like all accepted and everything. Too much overclock. See, I haven't messed with the overclock, so that could be true. It's probably I'm using the Kryptonite heavy Kryptonite heavy overclock settings. Probably why it's doing that. So anyway, all right, guys, it is 10:01. We can switch over to BrandonCoin maybe tomorrow if I have more time. I'll show you all what we did wrong with Bitcoin Note. It's actually in the description of that video what I was doing wrong and what y'all let me overlook. But let's head over to BrandonCoin's live stream. Check him out if you haven't already. Super cool over there. I don't know what he's covering tonight, but let's get to it. Let's get after it. Switch over to him, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, same time and all that stuff, 9:30. Thanks so much. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe and all that stuff on the way out, if you like this kind of stuff, and I assume you do. If you're still here, there's 12 people in here, so you know, hey, throw me a like and all that stuff. It helps the channel a little bit, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, 9:30, same time, and all that stuff. See you. Stay savage, everybody.